Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this enchanting evening with Baba Bolikia. We are happy to have him and learn alongside me about the Bubi language and the Bubi culture. I'm your host for today, and my name is Tricia, and I'm here to represent the Resplendence Language Arts. So help me welcome our guest, which is Baba Bolikia. You're welcome, sir. So,
Thank you.
Baba, can you tell me or can you tell us why you began teaching the Bubi language?
Mm. It's a good and hard question with not an easy response. When I
Okay.
notice that I'm alive, I'm living about 7 years old at that time, I spoke my Bubi language. But when they took me to school, I started learning Spanish language. I started learning Spanish language, go to church with Spanish language, go to the market with Spanish language, etc. And I became a Spanish speaker and also with the
Okay.
Bubi speaker. When I went abroad on my third exile, I started my university studies. And in the university, one of my lecturer asked me, um, what is my name? And I told him that my name is Justo, which is a colonizing name. And
Okay.
he asked me that if you are black, you are answering Justo. Me as a white man, how should I answer? So, oh, this is true. So, and if he asked me again, what is your name? And I gave him my Bubi name, my traditional name. I told him that my name is Intabo Sope. That is my
Okay.
family name, my cultural name, Intabo Sope. So since that time in the year 1978, I started my university studies, and I thought that uh, uh, I should defend, protect, I should keep my language alive because if I don't do anything to protect my language, I will also lose my identity. I will also lose my culture. That is why I started teaching Bubi language in my country, in Europe, abroad, etc. And I did many publications, many articles, many books, etc. etc. 40 years now, I think.
Okay. Okay. That's a nice one. So the second question here is why do you believe it's important for people to know their language and know their roots? Why do you think it's important?
Oh, when you look at Africa, you will notice that we have like four or five official languages in the African Union, which are English, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and Arabic.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
no African language, but we call ourselves Africans. So it
Africans.
does yes, it doesn't make sense to be an African to have African Union without African official languages. When you look at many African languages, the official language are not Africans; they are foreign languages. But when you see the foreign language that are taught in the schools, when a child is growing up, he start learning foreign languages. And there is something we should know. When you impose, when you teach, when you force people to learn your language, you will control their way of thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
so we Africans, as we don't have our language, as we don't grow up with our language, the Europeans, Western people are controlling our way of thinking. Okay, that is why I think that it is necessary to learn our language, to teach our language, to to have our language as official language, for you to go to the market, to go to the office, to the radio broadcasting, to music everywhere. We need our language because it's the only thing we have that can show the world that we are Africans. Okay, that is why
Yeah.
I'm fighting to reclaim African languages. But it's not easy because our politicians don't do anything to reclaim our African language.
Okay. Yeah. We actually have a lot of languages in Africa. Lots of them. So, but the ones that we hear mostly are the French, the Spanish. I don't think the Spanish, the just the seven and more that you mentioned, but we still have a lot of them. We have the Igbo language, we have the Yoruba, we have the Fon, we have a lot of languages in Africa. So, like you said, we are here to reclaim our language, and this is actually the steps to take. Yeah. So, and I would like to ask another question. Reclaiming is actually the key word here this night, this evening. Sorry, it's 8 p.m. here. Reclaiming is the word.
Mhm,
So I want to ask what does it mean for the Bubi language, like the Bubi community, rather? What does the word
mhm,
reclaiming mean for the Bubi community? Yeah.
mhm. In Africa, we have more than 2,000 something languages. Okay, Bubi language is part of African languages. We noticed that many young generation, young Bubi people don't speak Bubi language. Even some parents are not speaking Bubi language. They have as mother tongue Pidgin English or Spanish. So when you have mother tongue as Pidgin English or Spanish or French, you are not African because if you are African, you should have some African language. Okay, it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you need to only have Bubi language. No, if you can learn Yoruba, if you can learn Douala, if you can learn Wolof, etc., is an African language. But for we
Yeah.
people, is for we Bubi people, how can we how can we uh, uh, notice? How can we tell people in the whole world that we are Bubi if we don't speak our language? How can we reclaim our identity? How can we reclaim our culture? Because our culture, we can't learn our culture through the Spanish language. We can't learn our culture through foreign language. We need to learn our culture through our language, our proper language. We need to defend our language. We need to reclaim our language. We need to revitalize our language. Okay, we can't do it
Mm.
uh, out of the school. We need to do it also in the school, if you know, not only in the street. No, we need to take our language, go to school, and start teaching everything: mathematics, geography, language, history, etc., technology through our language. If we don't do that, we will never be Bovi people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I remember when I was a kid, when people ask me my name, I'll say my name is Trisha. My name is in my side, they don't really accommodate. If they ask you your name, say your name is my native name is Chinwendu. That's my native name.
Mhm,
So, and
mhm,
I believe I've made a kind of mistake in my certificate because there's actually no native name in my certificate. So I try my best to um bring out the name. I try my best to actually make people know me with my native name, since I did not have that. I messed up and not add it in my certificate. So I try my best. When people ask me what's your name, I say my name is Chinwendu. Like, I say it full, my name is Chinwendu.
mhm,
So I think those are actually the ways that we can reclaim our language. We are not just African by name, we are African by blood. So we
mm,
speak our language, you know, and not be ashamed of our language. Yeah. So I really like your point as well. I really like your point. So my next question is there something unique about the Bubi language? I would like to add that I just recently got to hear about the Bubi language. That's just the truth. I
you
recently got
know,
to hear about the
yes.
Bubi language.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So I
You
want
know,
to know if
yes.
all
Mm,
right.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so what's something unique about the Bubi language? Like the sound structure, or like what's that thing that is so unique about the Bubi language? I would like to hear.
Uh, okay. You know, Bubi language is one of the oldest language in Africa. Okay, one of the oldest language in Africa. We have different sound. It's not easy to learn the Bubi language. You know, even
Okay.
Spanish people live with the Bubi people for more than 2,000 years, 2 years, 200 years, but they couldn't speak Bubi language. Even today, the rulers, the Equatorial Guinea rulers, cannot speak Bubi language, but Bubi people can speak their own language, their the foreign language, etc. Because Bubi language is not easy. You can like you have different tones. Okay, if different tone, like
Okay.
you can if only one tone, four tones, you can pronounce the same sound with four tones. It means four different things.
Thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
like you say, oh, oh, or or you have four different o
Yeah.
or you know. So it's not easy. That is why I'm trying to make it easy for the new learners. I'm trying to facilitate the pronunciation, how to write, etc. But basically, Bubi language have some not the Bubi language is the Bubi wisdom. With Bubi language, you can have access to the Bubi wisdom, okay, to the Bubi deep culture, because we have the Bubi standard language, okay, but we have the Bubi deep language known by the elders, okay, known by the elders.
Yeah.
So, like me now, I have access to these traditional, deep, old Bubi language. But the young people, they don't know. But I want to teach them the secret of this old Bubi language, okay? Because
Okay.
if we don't do that, then we will lose many concepts, many contents, etc. about the Bubi heritage, about the Bubi culture, etc. So we have the sound, different sound. We have the structures, different structure. We have the the when I say sounds, the A, B, etc., vowels, consonants, etc., we have some like the N. You have the N, okay, and you have also the accent of the N. Okay, you have
Okay.
you have you have you have which means
Okay.
different
Things.
things.
Yeah.
But yeah, those who have learned Spanish language, they are not able to pronounce correctly this difference. So it will not be easy for them. That is why I claim the teaching of Bubi in the school, okay, in the schools when the young people are 3 years, 4 years old. If we start teaching them at that age, they will perfectly learn the Bubi language. But concerning the adult, to learn adult is not easy because adults have their
Yeah.
brain blocked.
And
Okay, uh,
yeah.
it's not easy. They can learn one or two words. Okay, but it will not be
Yes.
easy for them to learn. Mhm.
Yeah, it's not always easy for adults to learn, especially
Yes,
considering the fact that we have
yes,
responsibilities. So,
yes, yes.
so thank you so much for that. So, our next question is: Can you, okay, talking about teaching, can you tell us about your upcoming masterclass? What can people expect from it?
Oh, when I'm teaching, I I'm trying to make people enjoy the language they learn. I do all my best for them to enjoy the learning. They are adults, so I can't teach them with serious things, with hard things. I have to repeat. We have to laugh. We have to enjoy, etc. They will also learn the secrets, some of the Bubi secrets. Okay, some of the what we call some of the what we call wisdom of the Bubi people, some what we call the I need to give them the chance, the opportunity to learn what they don't know about themselves as Bubi people. Okay, because there is not yet books where they can read about the Bubi culture. There are few books, okay. So there are few books, but in Spanish, okay. So I need to explain something to them so that they can be encouraged to learn more about Bubi language, Bubi heritage, Bubi culture, etc. It will not be easy, but I hope they will be able to learn the sounds, the words, etc. The way I used to do it, it will make them easy uh, to learn. Okay, because as you can ask some of them, some of those who have learned Obi language, it's not so difficult because I make it easy for them.
Easy.
Mm, yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And could you please share a brief history, just a brief history about the Bubi people? Who are the Bubi people? And
yeah,
the journey of reclaiming their languages and their language rather and their culture. Who are they? Yeah.
yeah. Bubi people, we call ourselves Bacho. Okay, Bacho means person. Okay, we are not
Okay.
calling ourselves Bubi. No, Bubi word is created by English people. Okay, but because Bubi
Okay.
people they hear us saying Bobe, and they decide that this Bobe in English is Bobi. Okay,
Bubi.
it's Bobi.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. But
Okay.
ourselves, we call ourselves Bacho, persons. Okay, that was our language is Echo, the language of the persons. Okay, the language of the people. This word Echo, Bacho, you also have it in other African language. We call it when you hear Bantu, it means people. Okay, people Bantu.
Okay.
Okay, Bacho, Bantu, etc. It means people. Okay, so what we are trying to do now is to uh, reclaim our culture, our heritage, our significance in the world. What I can tell you is we came from the African continent, okay, where our island is 14 miles from African coast, the Cameroonian coast, 14 miles, okay. Our homeland is Bioko Island today, okay.
Okay.
So we came from the Cameroonian coast 14 miles. Okay, it's not far. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
from there we go to the island in 8,000 years today. Okay, 8,000 years. So we leave the African continent. We went to the island. We stayed there from until today, until now. Okay, so our history
Okay.
can be can be concrete like in two spaces. We have the space here and the space beyond. It means Here and the
Okay.
young. Here is for the humans. The young is for the ancestors. Okay, ancestors.
Okay.
So we believe in God, but our best God is a woman. Okay, is a woman. Yeah,
Okay.
because we are matriarchal. Because the God we know is a woman. Is she's answered it Priscilla. Okay, we have many uh, heroes, human heroes. Okay, we have human heroes. We had in a time many queens as Bubi queen. Okay, so this is the
Okay.
difference between the Bubi culture and other culture in the area in the West Africa and of Central Africa. So when you learn Bubi language, the people who are learning Bubi language, they should also learn about the Bubi history, where we come from, the human heroes, the where how can we live. But for example, we have the palm tree. You know the palm tree. For us, for Bubi
Okay.
people, the palm tree is very important because uh, through the palm tree you have pillow. Through the palm tree, you have palm oil. Through the palm tree, you have palm wine. Through the palm tree, you can do a house. You can do a basket. You can do many things through the palm tree. So for us, the palm tree is a sacred tree. Nobody can
Okay.
cut it. Okay, so the way
Okay.
to do fishing in the sea, women who are doing fishing, the way to plant yams is different from another culture. So when you learn the language, you will also learn many things about how to become a Bubi person through the Bubi culture, through the Bubi language. We have many. We can say many things. Okay. Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for that. Our
You're
next
welcome.
question is what's a Bubi proverb or saying you believe everyone should know, and what does it mean?
There is something we learn when you learn when you are young. We say a foreigner may be away for 100 years. A foreigner may be away for 100 years, but he will always return to his homeland.
Okay.
So it means you can go away, you can go abroad, you can stay there for 100 years, 100 years, but you will always return. You know why we say that? Because Bubi people used to bury the how do you call this when the child came out from his
Placenta.
mother's placenta. Not the
Okay.
placenta, the nibble, something like that. Nibble, yes,
Okay, the
the
nipple. No, not the
nipple.
nipple, not the nipple. The
There is something.
navel.
There is
It's the
something.
navel.
Yeah, the navel. They used to plant it. Okay, that is why the parents say you can go out as I have planned your navel, you will return to your land. Okay, that is why
Okay.
they say
Okay.
a foreigner can go away, can go abroad for 100 years, he will always return to his homeland. This is a significant problem for a proverb. Okay. Mhm.
Okay. So the English people would say east, west, north, south, no place like home. All
Ahem,
right.
ahem, mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in your view, how can language help communities heal from colonization and cultural loss?
Oh, that is, our problem today is what we said at the beginning. Uh, the young people are going to school for their training, okay, but they are not using African language for their training. Sometimes in some few African countries, students can start learning their language for the two first or three primary years. Okay, after that they will not
Okay.
still learning their language. Okay, they will start learning foreign language until the end of their studies. So as we don't have our language as language instruction language, as we don't have our language as language used for for the reception of contents, etc., it is very difficult for us to to use our language to hail the colonial impacts. Okay, it's very difficult for
Okay.
us to hail colonial impact, and the colonization still go on because what we are living in the school is a neo-colonization. Okay, we are using Western contents in our schools in Africa. We are using Western religion in our churches, in our houses, etc. We have Western religious images in our church, in our houses, etc. What does it mean? It means we will never be able
Okay.
to uh, uh, solve our problem. We will never be able to tell our colonial impact because we don't use our language to build our cognitive system, to build our cognitive profile. So, uh, if we don't do that, if our governors, our politicians, if our priests, if our pastor, if our fathers or parents don't aware of this danger, we will always be Africans without language, without culture, without identity, etc. And anyone will come to Africa and will come to uh, neo-colonize us, will come to control our way of thinking, etc. It's not easy for us to keep being African today because in our schools, they are learning us not to be African, but to be foreigners in our proper country.
God would help us actually to get back our heritage, our language, and our culture. Well, I feel are trying, yeah, in their best. In those languages. In my house, we don't speak English. It's
Good,
my native
good,
language. Yeah. So, Baba, I would like to know many young people heritage language is not useful. So, what advice would you give to them?
yes, because they think that their language is not useful because of what they have imposed them, because of what they have in their mind, okay? Because they told them that their language is not useful. Their language is wild people's language. Their language is primitive language, okay? They grew up with this concept, okay? That's why they think that their language is not useful. They think that their language is not
Charlie.
powerful. Okay, their language, they can't have good job. They can't have money with their using their language. They can't do anything with their language. So they need foreign language because with foreign language they can have job, they can have money, etc. Because it is true, African language are not empowered. Okay, that's why I'm saying that we need to empower African language. If we don't do that, if we don't do that, if we don't use African language to work, if we don't use African language to do research, if we don't use African language to do business inside Africa or abroad, our language will maybe die in 150 years. Mm.
Yeah, to go yeah. Okay, so thank you, Baba, for your time and wisdom. This actually beautiful meeting and interview with, and I would say I'm very grateful. I know every other person out there is happy and grateful for a moment like this. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We have the Bubi language class coming up on July 19th, which is Saturday and Sunday. So the
Yeah.
registration is open. Please see the link in the chat to register the class day. So there is actually something here. There's for anyone who's joined our live today. So what do you need to do when uh, when you message? Just tell us, okay, I was here. I was on your live on YouTube. Give you a five this yeah next time. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.